live. How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And to my right is none other than...
That's my cue.
Yes.
I thought you were going to introduce me fully. No, my name is Curtis Finley from the Epic Marvel Podcast. And as always, I am delighted to be here on Near Mint Condition to talk about Epic Collections, because that's where it's at.
I'll just Omar do these for DC Finest as well.
You wish.
Unfortunately, no, they operate differently over there. I know of things that are coming, which is really cool, and I'm in contact with their collected editions department. But they're still trying to figure out a way to work that in. But this is the Marvel Epic Collections. So a big thank you to David Gabriel and everyone at Marvel who sent this information over to us. So we're going to be looking at the Marvel Epic Collections from May to July of 2026. We covered February to April of 2026 last Friday. If you haven't watched that, we announced some really awesome Epic collections, some of them making a return. I think it was definitely one of my favorite announcements that we've done for Epics, because I think it just kind of covered what everybody likes, right? Like, people love the classics, people love characters that haven't been shown love for a long time and finally coming back in Epic format. And then, of course, there's the new modern era stuff. Let's see. The completed line is actually 3 Venom epics: Venom and Carnage and Scream, all for Phil. Any X news today? Oh yeah, man. You have DC Finest inside information. I can't say anything. Just like I have stuff for Omnis that they're releasing too, but not up to me to release the information unless they want me to, which is fine. But some of these modern epics are still older than me. And with that comment, I feel like the Last Crusade guy that drank out of the wrong cup and chose poorly, and he aged like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Unsubscribed again. Thank you. So today we got some Curtis, can you give us a breakdown of what we're announcing today? Like how many books, what the numbers are? You're a good numbers guy.
Right. Man, I forget.
You forget.
We have 6 classic epics and 6 modern epics, and 3 other books to talk about. So what is that? 15? I think that's 15. So yeah, and it's a good mix. It's a mix of old, it's a mix of new, it's a mix of stuff that people are wanting and stuff that has been reprinted before. So it's got a little bit for everybody.
Yeah. And again, we announced some books last week.
We have to keep in mind also that this is just 3 months, and coupled with last week's announcements, this is just the first half of the year. So if that book that the line that you're really excited about isn't on this list yet, well, we've still got 6 more months in this year, and that'll be for another time to talk about.
And they have all our information as far as like the reprints that you all voted for. And, they did note that those will come into play. I'm not sure when they're going to add them, whether they'll trickle here into these months or if they will be for later next year. But rest assured that they have that information. And I do check from time to time that they have the updated information, all the books that you all voted for. And I do the same thing for Omnis. And yes, I went to see Superman yesterday. This is actually My first of 3 live streams today. My second one will be at 5 p.m. with my friends going over the Marvel October's 2025 solicitations. And that's at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm reviewing Superman with Amanda. So, yeah. Woo. And I got to record some videos before I head out and go off grid. So, the reprint poll, we do it every year here. It's usually the months of March, April, and May. I believe is when we do it. Yeah. So make sure you're subscribed and come back over here. All right. Curtis.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead
Okay, you ready?
and take us to May of 2026. Smash that like button before we get started. And a big thank you to my wonderful co-host, Curtis, from the Epic Marvel podcast.
Okay, so
Yeah. So let's
start. So the way that I usually order these is kind of the ones that are least exciting to me to most exciting to me. Not to say that the ones that are least exciting are actually not exciting, but I just want to ramp up to the ones that at least I'm really excited about at the very end here. So the first one we have on the list is New Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 4 Secret Invasion, collecting New Avengers 38 to 54 plus Secret Invasion Dark Reign one shot. And we know that these modern era epic collections don't usually collect the actual events. So Secret Invasion, the event, not here. It's sandwiched in between New Avengers Volume 3 and 4, and you can read it concurrently with the first few issues of this volume.
now this is yes, this is still Bendis writing it. As a matter of fact, Bendis is on Avengers for a long time. By the way, I love your Nausicaa avatar. Bendis is on Avengers after New Avengers ends. Bendis is writing Mighty Avengers during this time. He's also going to be writing Dark Avengers, and then when the series is revamped with New Avengers and Avengers ongoing. So he's there for a few years. And you really like this era, don't you, Curtis? I know you've talked about it before in the past.
Oh, well, I've been reading these. I picked up New Avengers when it.
Curtis, tell us how you really feel about the New Avengers.
I'm just about to actually. No, I actually really enjoy these books. I
Oh,
bought these when they were new off the stands for a little while, and then kind of gave up Marvel for a period of time in general. But reading through these epic collections, they're great. It's just like wall to wall blockbuster action. If you just like high stakes and fun, and Brian Michael Bendis is whether you like him or not, I think he's a lot of fun in his writing. He keeps it entertaining the entire time.
Yeah, this is the new team that is shaken up, and we do have in the Secret Invasion event that takes place, we have the return of the classic, I guess, what is the Avengers Trinity of Iron Man and Thor and Captain America reuniting. Because remember, during this time, Thor wasn't it wasn't an ongoing series. They had canceled Thor for a while after Ragnarok by Michael Avon Oeming.
Right. Yeah, we saw a brief Thor appearance in Civil War. It wasn't really Thor though.
That was Ragnarok, Clor, or whatever we used to call him back in the day. If you get Omnis, you don't need this, right? Curtis, I'm gonna let you take that one.
You absolutely need this because epics are better than omnis.
I hate you so much. Okay. And let's move on to the next book then. Unless you want to add anything else about this one. It's got a 50th issue anniversary. Artwork in here is mostly by Billy Tan, right? Like he takes on the book, and then Stuart Eminem, I think, comes in later on.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, I had no idea. No, this gets us into the Dark Reign one shot. So I think Dark Avengers is going by this point. So if you've read that epic collection, this kind of goes along with it. Yeah, that's right. Brian knows what he's talking about. Okay, next.
Next.
Micronauts Epic Collection, the original Marvel Years, Volume 5, The New Voyages, collecting
Yes.
Micronauts The New Voyages numbers 1 through 20, the entire series.
So this is the series after Bill Mantlo and This, and I think Kelly Jones does a lot of early artwork in here, starting off as an
Yeah, Kelly
inker.
Jones and Peter B. Gillis are
Yeah,
the
Peter
main
McGillis.
team on this one. This brings this series to a close. We've had once this is out, the entire Micronaut series, minus a small mini series, will be collected in Epic Collection.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think you're absolutely right, and what people have been saying in the comments and in the chats about, learning from the past about licensed products when it came to like Conan, right? Like they were taking time with Conan because they thought, yeah, we're gonna have this for a while, and things happen. And I'm so glad that people, Epicureans, you Epic collectors, finally getting this stuff, because I know that there were people that were waiting, and then there were people like, who knows if they're ever going to come. Right now, they're focusing on Omnis, but I'm glad that this is coming out. Yes, it does not contain the Micronauts X-Men.
That's right.
Yeah, so
For
unfortunately,
whatever behind the scene reasons. But yeah, this is the entire. I like how they have the breaking point here is the entire New Voyages series in one volume, because some people weren't fans of this last part of Micronauts. So if you didn't, you can buy the first 4 volumes and just still have a complete set. Whereas in the Omnis, there were a couple of issues of the of the first series in that last Omni, so you kind of had to get all of this New Voyages stuff just to get the last few issues of the series.
yeah. And honestly, I I like a complete set, but I'm not like everybody else, right? Like, people definitely have a stopping point when it comes to collecting. Some people stop at a certain era. I'm just a completist, and I like everything. I take the good with the bad. Sometimes I take the very bad with the very good. But that's just the curse of being an X-Men reader. Okay, what's next, Curtis? Unless you had
Okay.
any other thoughts about this.
Well, I think just one more thing is that I think it's remarkable that in 2 years we have 5 volumes. So that's, yeah, like you said, they learned from their mistakes there, and they're not wasting time with this license, getting it all out. I'm hoping that with the conclusion of this series, that we'll get to see the Godzilla Epic Collections before that license
Or
expires.
yeah, or ROM, right?
Well, I mean, Rom's already in the works, so I'm assuming that that one's going to be finished
Yeah,
soon enough. But
I hope
Godzilla, we
so.
haven't had an announcement yet for. Okay, next. Doctor Doom Epic Collection Volume 2 Revolution in Latveria. Um, a lot of people are cold on this series just because it's a lot of double dips. Uh, looking at this collection, and it's actually kind of neat. Um,
This is different
Aside
than
from the
the
fact that it's all collected in other Epic collections.
right. Well,
But fantastic.
Hero for Hire isn't, right? No, it is. It is. That's
Oh,
the
sure.
Doctor
Yeah,
Doom.
that's the Luke
Yeah.
Cage series. Yeah, that's the classic Luke Cage series.
But now you're looking at something that is different mapping than the omnibus. The omnibus, the
Oh,
Books of
yeah.
Doom omnibus. This has material that wasn't collected in there. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Well, you have all of this stuff at the top is stuff that's already in other Epic collections, readily available. Fantastic Four 84 to 87, 116, and 142 to 144, plus Submariner 20 and 47 49. I'm not going to read these all off. Thor, Hulk, Heroes for Hire, and material from Astonishing Tales 1 through 8. This is the only material that's going to be new and unique to this volume here, because Doctor Doom had his own series within the pages of Astonishing Tales for
Yeah.
just a little while, and it's only half issues, so it's the equivalent of 4 issues here. Not much for the full collection, but for those of you who are fans of the character, then this is great for you, because it's collecting the kind of the chronological evolution of this character in its early years.
So it's another one of those. Man, they are not missing anything. That's a lot of stories. That, yeah, you're right. If you have all of the Fantastic Four, if you have Thor, Incredible Hulk, Luke Cage, and Submariner. I guess those Astonishing Tales hasn't been collected anywhere in Epic format.
No. And I don't think it will be. It's Fantastic Four collections have already bypassed that era, and I think that once Volume 3 hits, that's where people are going to get really excited because I'm
That's the
assuming
super
that
villains.
will be the supervillain team up
Yeah.
series.
Which that has had a collection in trade paperbacks, but those are out of print, and some of it appeared in the giant size omnibus. But it would be nice to have a complete collection of all that too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move on to the next book, Curtis.
I like the one comment. Ollie's already placing their orders on this one.
I swear I never should have made a video about Ollie's like 7 years ago. It has become my curse. I don't find anything good at Ollie's anymore. Not even toys. Just not even good gardening stuff. Everything is just. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, next one here. Incredible Hulk
Yeah,
Epic
baby.
Collection, Volume 11, Devolution, and Incredible Hulk 263 to 279. The annual 11 and 10 and 11, and Incredible Hulk versus Quasimodo #1. Gotta love it.
So this is the Bill Mantlo era still.
Yeah, this is continuing on.
There were remember we used to call them proto epics, right? There was Crossroads, but this is different mapping than those proto epics that we had of the Hulk, right? I think Bill Mantlo had like 3 proto epics, as we called them back then. And we knew one day that the trade dress would change. That's crazy to think about.
These are a little bit different. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, these are a little bit different. I think I don't know the mapping of those other books off the top of my head, so I didn't look. But this is probably around the Pardoned era, toward the end of this book, I think, which is one of the titles of those collections is Pardoned. So I don't know if
that one's mapped different because that one starts with 269 and goes to 285. So these are definitely mapped different. But I just think it's crazy that 10 years ago, which doesn't even feel like it was that long ago, we were saying, I'll just wait until, like, that's why I didn't get them. I was like, I'll just wait until these will come out in epic format or an omnibus format one day.
Yeah.
Just like that, man. Just like it may not feel like that to some people, but 10 years, just like I felt like I just said that the other day. And here we are. Well, this doesn't come out until 2026. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, and
thank
what
you.
this
Part
does
works. 269 to 285. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
so
this one has annuals, and this one has the Quasimodo one shot as well. What this also does is create a 1-volume gap, because we already have volume 13. That one's already out, Crossroads, and so now we have volume 11. We're just missing that volume 12 in there, along with 14 and 15 and 23. So we're getting closer to ever closer to the end of Incredible Hulk.
What is the word for completing a run? What word would you use for completing all of Hulk in epic format? Like I'm that way. I cannot wait for the Carl Barks collections to come out, because that's another series that I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be 10 years before they finish it. And now I think we're on year 13 of that.
Yeah, they started around the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just call it complete.
Complete. Okay, that's pretty epic of you to say, Curtis.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Mighty Marvel Masterworks line got discontinued. Yeah, the complete fantastic. I like that. No, not Karl Marx. Karl Barks. Like the dog. Woof, woof. Why did I say that? Why did I? All right.
I'm pretty sure you said Barks.
Let's go ahead and go with the next one. What's the next one?
Okay, so that wraps up. That wraps up May for us.
I like the
so now, yeah, yeah, we have. Let's see what's going to come up very first in the month of June. We have a reprint for you. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 7, The Goblin's Last Stand. I can't tell you how many times this has been collected or reprinted. It's been a number of times
This is the
already,
fourth printing. But
but
remember
it
the
keeps on selling.
first and second printing were insane. Like the print run. It was insane, dude. Which one was this? Oh, this was voted number 1.
Yeah,
This was voted
yeah,
number
yeah.
1.
A
Yeah,
lot of
and
people are
voted
asking for
number
this one.
2. It was voted number 2 last year and voted number
Yeah.
1 this year for most wanted epic reprint. So there you go. You all
Yeah,
voted for it.
it just keeps on being reprinted because it's one of the most important stories in Spider-Man history.
Well, and the other thing to keep in mind is whenever they do reprints, whenever these reprints do come out, it's always a smaller and smaller print run than the previous one. So if the last
Yes.
print, I don't know what the numbers are, but I do know that they are always smaller print runs than the last time they did it. So that's something to keep in mind, especially if if you missed out on this one and you're like, oh man, this is the one I was wanting. So yeah, just keep that in mind because I like in 2 years' time, people are like, oh, I should have got it. Yeah. This has some classic storylines, man. Like, yeah, 120, dude. Yes, 121 and 122. Without spoiling anything for a story that happened well over 45. Oh my God, 50 years ago. Amazing Spider-Man traumatized me as a kid. It was rough, man. Getting us fully up to date on Uncanny over the next year. Amazing Spider-Man or Iron Man, probably next classics line. I really work at filling out.
Nice.
Okay. So congratulations to people that voted. Let's move on to the next book in June.
Why don't you take this one, Omar?
We are continuing Grant Morrison's run on New X-Men. This is Planet X, so Volume 3, with a cover by Chris Bachalo and collecting New X-Men 142 to 154. And that will wrap up Grant Morrison's run on New X-Men, which leads directly into Astonishing X-Men, Uncanny X-Men by Chris Claremont. And I don't know if they'll collect that as a modern era epic collection.
Yeah, who knows? That's the
And then
biggest question right now is what will happen. It's interesting because there are 2 issues of New X-Men in that run before they just kind of switch the naming back to regular X-Men. So it could go either way.
there were 2 more issues after Morrison left. I think 155 and 156 that were still called New X-Men. I think those were written by Chuck Austin, if I'm not mistaken, with Salvador LaRocca on artwork, kind of like transitioning to where the X-Men are going to be.
Okay.
Is artist genius or problem? Chris Bachalo? I love his art. But I can understand, it's not for everybody. Thank you for the super chat, Igor. And while we're on the topic of Hulk, what about Modern Era Epic Collection of Hulk Volume 7, Code Red? It's already solicited on Amazon for January 2026. Did we announce that with the last batch of books? Or
We
that
didn't. No, it was it was a late addition to the January Epic collection. So it was announced, like they put it up on Penguin Random House, a week after we had our announcements or something. So it just kind of appeared there. So yeah, it didn't get an announcement from us.
So that's something that I always say, like what we're giving you right now is what Marvel like approved, right? I did mention whenever we did the first video that they'll trickle in some reprints and maybe something new too. So just keep an eye out. And wish they would let Igor Corday redraw his new X-Men issues for these collections. Yeah, unfortunately, Igor was rushed during that time, so doesn't really show his best. All right, buddy. New X-Men. Bacello, right?
How about this one?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Annihilation Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3 Conquest Prelude. And this is interesting because we weren't sure if they would include Conquest in the Annihilation Epics, but it looks like they're going to continue through this era here. This one has only 2 miniseries, Conquest Quasar and Conquest Star-Lord, plus a one-shot prologue and an Annihilation Saga. So a bit on the thin side. I was looking at this, the past collections, this is a reskin of Annihilation Conquest Book 1, and there was also Book 2, and that's the entire series.
Mhm.
Together, those books are over 600 pages, which is too big for one epic collection. So they're splitting it into two skinny ones.
I love this. This is this is my favorite modern cosmic event. I love Annihilation, and it got me hooked on modern cosmic. But this is the event that I loved. I love the villains in this. I love the new characters that show up. I love the new status quo for some of these characters, and of course, this is that Star-Lord miniseries right there is going to give us the pretty much the template for what will become the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that
Yeah,
new
so
that Star-Lord, like with a bunch of like almost like a Suicide Squad type of mission, with a bunch of
yeah,
people that got arrested. And Peter Quill takes him out, and you know you're gonna see characters there that you hadn't seen in Marvel Comics in a long time. This is by the way, it may surprise you, but this also is the time when Groot is not just I am Groot. Like he actually has conversations. So if you've never read this stuff, you might be like, "Whoa, that's not Groot," but yeah, it was. And then of course DNA taking over after Keith Giffen. It's so good, man.
and if you're a fan of Micronauts, then you'll want to read the Star-Lord one because the character shows up there. And also, the Star-Lord series is the only thing that I've read out of this book because it's in the Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
Modern Era,
really? Okay.
Volume
Well,
1.
okay. So I don't want to spoil something, but Quasar, you're probably wondering then, like, wait, how is there a Quasar miniseries? Because I read Annihilation and I know what happens.
You,
It's a new status
well,
quo for the character. So good,
I
man.
also know what happens to her because she becomes a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
So
right.
I know that that one as well.
Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to read these, they're great. They're great. I love them.
Yeah,
I love them. So,
really great.
all right, man. Congratulations for people that waited. That's cool that we're getting, both Marvel and DC are getting into the event game with their collections of Marvel Epics and DC Finest. It's really cool to see that.
Yeah, and this one is easy because it's just representing previous collections. But I'm interested in seeing once they do, like, let's say, a Civil War modern era epic collection. How are they going to map that? They're going to put in all of the tie-ins, things like Frontline and all of that kind of stuff, because they had all of those, OHCs that collected it by series.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, do they have omnis that do it in a certain reading order and that kind of stuff, or what?
Well, the omnis of the
Civil War.
Annihilation Conquest, and War of the Kings are mapped to perfection. I don't know. Well, no, I do know. Well, maybe. Do me a favor, Curtis. Did Annihilation Book 1, what issues of Nova did it I'm sorry, Book 2, what issues of Nova did it contain?
No issues of Nova as far as I know. Let me just
So
double
book
check.
book 2 does not, right?
Book 2 has no Nova in it. No Nova at
Okay.
all.
So this would have to have issues 1 through 12 of Nova in order to
In
match
the next,
up. Yeah, which I don't see that happening. I
oh
mean, the first
no,
four issues, the first four issues are, well, actually, one, two. Okay, so the way Annihilation worked, it was like it was the event, and then they spun out a series, right? Like, oh, people are really liking these characters. Let's give them an ongoing series. So they gave it to Nova. And then within the first few issues, we started having Annihilation Conquest.
yeah.
And if this is a reskin of what was it called? Annihilation Conquest Book 1? Is that
Just
what you
called it
called it?
Book 1. Yeah.
Okay. And you said there's a Book 2?
There's a Book 2. It only has a
What
few
issues
issues
of
of Nova
Nova
in it,
does
like
that
8
have?
to 12 or something like that.
Okay. Then no, they're going to be mapped different. Because if Conquest Book 2 has Nova, it should be like issues 4 through like 7 or 8. Because that's the Conquest part, right? Because 1 through 3 was him like
Maybe
with
that's
the
what it
world
is.
mind, and then heading to then it's going to be different than the mapping of the omnis. That's interesting. Okay.
Okay, I just looked it up. It's 4 to 7. It has Nova 4 to 7.
Okay, yeah. So Yeah, then they're not going to put in the Guardians of the Galaxy issues, so they're not going to be mapped like the Omnis. Yeah.
Okay. And including that stuff would have been nice to bulk it up to more of an epic collection size book, but I guess they're not going to do that. That's too bad.
It is, which I mean, it's both a curse and also a blessing, right? A curse because it's a skinny book. A blessing because you're probably going to get a Nova Epic Modern Era Epic Collection, just like they're doing a
That's true.
Guardians of the Galaxy Modern. So you're not going to have to double dip, right? Because people that bought the modern or the Guardians of the Galaxy by DNA Omnibus were double dipping heavily because all 5 of the Cosmic Omnis collect every single issue of those Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy.
okay.
So
Right.
maybe Marvel wanted to avoid that when it came to trade paperbacks. So that would be some heavy double dipping. Yeah, so I'm sure Nova will get his line, and then we'll double dip a little bit with the volume 4 of this annihilation. All right, man. So that was a good question. Those are great questions. Oh, let me look really quick right here. Contents of book 2, Ronin 1 through 4, Annihilation 1 through 6, Heralds of Galactus. So yeah, they didn't put Nova 1 through 3 in there. Okay, thank you for that. All right, my friend, let's move on to the next book.
The next one is Iron Man Epic Collection, Volume 19, Crash and Burn. This is an important one here because it's plugging up a hole that has been there for a little while between volume 18 and 20. This is completing the back end of the Iron Man run pre Heroes Reborn. With Iron Man 298 to 309 plus annual 15 and Tales of Suspense. It's a one-shot number 1.
This is the Len. Is it Len Kaminsky during this era? Right, we're looking at
That's right,
309.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
remember that cover. So yes,
Did you
Golden
ever
Adventures back.
do you know you remember Marvel the Marvel Universe trading cards, right?
I do.
There was one series in there in 1994 where they had a whole bunch of pages. Like if you put them in the comic pages, there would be 9 block. Like the 9 cards would create one image, and there was one for Crash and Burn. And I'm so I know this story from these cards because I read the synopsis on the back of them,
Oh,
but I've never read the actual story before.
oh, okay,
But
dude. I I don't remember that. I don't remember that as far as Iron Man, but I do remember putting them together to kind of give you a synopsis of stories. Uh, yeah, this is the Len Kaminsky era, which I think to a lot of people that read Iron Man, is regarded as one of their favorite eras. Because Crash and Burn also had Venom. Didn't Venom
what?
show up? Venom was huge in that era, right?
Yep, Venom did show up. In fact, it's one of the appearances I believe that are not in the Venom Epic collections. I think
Hey,
they
you
skipped
hear
over
that?
that.
You hear that,
Yeah.
Phil? So you need this book. I don't know if Phil heard that or not. That annual was the only one missing for years, and now it's going to be collected in here fully. Wait
Oh
a
no,
minute.
actually no. Iron Man 302 is in Venom Volume 4. So
Okay.
there you go. So it is in there. But yeah.
It's in the epic that we can get to see the proton cannon that appeared in the Marvel versus Capcom games, I believe.
Oh, cool.
It's
Really?
this
That's
armor,
awesome.
actually. Yeah, it's from this armor. Yeah, you're right about that.
That's great.
All right. Let's move on to the next book.
Okay, I think this next one is going to make some people happy. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 13. It's called Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut,
We're
with
looking at
Amazing
Funko
Spider-Man
Pops.
224 to 241 and annual number 16. Omar, why is
Yes.
this one important?
This is probably my favorite Spider-Man run. So it's important to me. I don't know if it's important to anybody else. This is Roger Stern's run with
Mhm.
John Romita Jr. for the first time drawing Spider-Man. I don't know what he is on right now. Like, what is this? The 5th time he's been on Spider-Man with
Yeah, he keeps
when he
coming
was
back.
with Zeb Wells. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I love this era. And the Juggernaut, the kid who collects Spider-Man. Oh my gosh. The Hobgoblin Saga, dude, this is like, if you've never read this era of Spider-Man, oh my god, I'm so jealous. You are in for a treat. I wish I could reread these again for the first time. I always make fun of my buddy Jess, Omnidog, who always say he's got like a goldfish type of memory. Like, he doesn't remember things he reads. I wish I had that problem, because you would get to experience wonderful stories over again like you never had before. So it's really cool. I'm glad they're doing this, and because we got what was the other book that Since Past, right? And everybody's like, oh man, that's the Spider-Man book for this particular time of the year. Oh well, we'll get a classic book next time. You didn't have to wait that long. So there we go, volume 13. I mean, yeah, Roger Stern's Omnibus is officially out of print too. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So this is going to be well sought after. I don't sleep on it. What's really interesting here is
I envy you, Brian.
What's really interesting here is that we got volume 12 just announced for January. So within 6 months, we're getting 2 classic Spider-Man volumes, and not one of them's not the 90s. They're both, the consecutive 1980s era, volume 12 and volume 13. Plus, we're getting 2 modern era with Amazing Spider-Man volume 2 and 3. We're getting 4 Spider-Man books in the first 6 months of 2026.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that, because I know we're used to 2 epics, right? 2 epics a year for characters, if we're lucky. And Spider-Man had been like that for a while. That doesn't include, of course, reprints. But I'm glad that they're like, okay, Spider-Man has a lot of epics, and people really want them. So let's go ahead and give them some classic stuff and some modern stuff. That's not even including like Miles Morales Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man. So yeah, it's like it's pleasing everybody, right? That's into Spider-Man, of course, with the exception of no volume 16 one day.
So speaking of that, though, this creates another 1 volume gap with volume 14, because we already have 15. That leaves us with just 2 volumes left to go to get all of Spider-Man from the beginning up to the Clone Saga.
That's
We
crazy.
just need volume 14 and 16. That's it.
So wait, which one do we need? 14?
13 and 16. That's it.
So why is Miguel asking, what about Epic 15? That's the one we need.
I think that's a typo.
Oh, okay.
I think that's just a typo.
Maybe he means 16.
I think he means 16. Yep.
16 will be the very final epic. It will be the 700th epic to be released.
Yep.
I know no insider information on that, by the way. I'm just being facetious. Okay. What's next, my friend? It's a good one. Let me guess, you ended the month.
That wraps up June. 1 month to go. So what will we see here? Let's find out. Star Wars Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3, The Screaming Citadel.
Yeah, this is the big
2015 crossover series.
Go
big crossover with Dr. Aphra. So the last volume had a big crossover with oh no, it didn't have a crossover, did it? It was a volume 1
no,
had
it was,
a Darth Vader crossover.
Vader, yeah, the Vader down. Mm-hmm.
So this one is Star Wars 31 to 43 plus Annual 3, a one-shot of the Screaming Citadel, and also Dr. Aphra 7 to 8, which I'm hoping we'll get an epic collection for Dr. Aphra at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we will. She's a really popular character. This is a really great story. That cover by Marco Cacchetto, great choice. Who does the artwork for that one shot, the Screaming Citadel one shot? Lots of great artwork, within Star Wars too. By the way, did I ever share my story about Jason Aaron starting Star Wars and getting John Cassaday? And how John... Okay, this is really cool, man. Sadly, it was the celebration of life for John Cassaday that Melanie and I attended in New York. And Jason Aaron starts talking about how, he would be happy to write Star Wars, of course, when Marvel approached him. He was like, I would love to have John Cassaday. So he calls up John Cassaday and he's like, hey, would you be interested in drawing Star Wars? And Cassaday was, dude, this is so cool. He was like, I will do it. I'll be happy to do the first 6 issues under one condition. Luke Skywalker has to have his badass yellow jacket from the ending of A New Hope. And and Aaron was like, done. And that's how he got John Cassaday to draw the first 6 issues of Star Wars.
Okay.
I love
Amazing.
that. Because I love that yellow jacket too, man. I was like, that's so awesome. Yeah. But really good
That's the
story.
jacket he.
Go, what's that?
Yeah, that's the jacket he wore through the original Marvel series too, right? I think.
The Al Williamson stuff?
I can't remember. Yeah.
I think no. He had his Jedi or his white. What is that called? The white robe, the white gown.
Oh, the
That
tunic or
Jedi
whatever.
outfit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
had that on for a while. Yeah. So this is continuing Jason Aaron's run on there, and there's the crossover with Kieran Gillen's Dr. Aphra, which is another great story. Yeah. So and phenomenal artwork again. What is next,
Okay, so
brother?
we keep on going here. Yeah, let's keep on going over to everyone's favorite Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 2. This one's called XX Baby.
That is
And
covered by the late Jason Pearson, and this is Daniel Way's run. Yeah, 13
Daniel
to
Way,
30.
Deadpool 13 to 31, which is the same as the complete collection, the Daniel Way Complete Collection, Volume 2.
Yeah, this is the believe it or not, like this is the series that made Deadpool popular with the normal people, with people that didn't read comics, because this is the series that people were using as gifs, at using as memes, and it really made the character popular. Like everybody was like, "Who's that funny guy that breaks the fourth wall in comics at Marvel?" That's how he got so big, and that's why that movie was huge. And it was this run that they were pulling that stuff from. But yeah, this is the Daniel Way stuff. Who is Paco Medina's on artwork, Jason Pearson's on covers. It went on. This will go on for a while. I think it went on for 50 issues, so it'll be at least 4 volumes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what the complete collections are. There's 4 of
No,
them.
the youth was not pulling She-Hulk comic panels. They were pulling Deadpool comic panels, which is crazy, right? Our generation was pulling well, no, we couldn't because
there was
we
no
didn't have the
internet.
internet back then. We didn't know what the internet was back then. 63 issues. Whoa, that went on way longer than I thought. Okay, definitely 4 then. Whew. Okay.
Okay.
What is
There you
next?
go. Is that your X content for this live
No, it
stream?
better not. It's not the X content you were hinting at.
Okay, moving on. Venom Modern Era Epic Collection. Got to have these back to back, right? Deadpool and Venom. This is Volume 2, Sting of the Scorpion. Interesting collection.
This has never
Because it
been
starts,
collected omnibus format, by the way.
yeah, and this is never been assembled this way at all ever. It starts with Eddie Brock with Venom versus Carnage 1 through 4, but then and it ends with Eddie Brock in Venom Dark Origin 1 through 5. But then this middle stuff, Marvel Knight Spider-Man 7, 8, and 11, Sensational Spider-Man 38 and 39, plus Thunderbolt's Reason in Madness, the one shot, is all a different Venom. And
yeah, don't spoil who that Venom is. Something happens to the character of Brock in that Marvel Knights comics right there, which is the Mark Miller and Terry Dodson story. Which one? This is he's asking why is this exciting? Please explain. Well, Curtis was cooking. He was doing a good job cooking. I'm gonna say that this solidifies that the Marvel Knights Spider-Man is now in continuity, which we always kind of guess it was in continuity because of things that happened in that storyline. But this really doubles down on that the Marvel Knights book was in continuity. Because at one time, I mean, there was a whole debate whether it really happened in the 616 universe or not, just because of the had a what was it like a hush feel to it, if you will.
yeah.
But yeah, this begins the other Venom, so the symbiote taking on another host, if you will.
There's just one series. Isn't there a Dark Reign, a Venom Dark Reign series? When he's with the
Well, when he
Dark
ends up
Avengers.
with the Thunderbolts. Remember
But
that Venom
that's not what
goes
this. I thought there was like an actual 4-issue series.
what is Venom Dark Reign? When
Let me
when he's
see.
joining the Thunderbolts? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Oh, the Sinister Spider-Man, Dark Reign, the
Okay.
Sinister Spider-Man #1
Yeah,
was
that
really.
would be in the next volume though, right? Because this stops at
But we
2008, and the dark
but
and
we
the
have the next volume already. Volume 3 is um
oh, that's the Daniel Way stuff, isn't it?
that's the Daniel Way. Yeah, that's the Agent Venom. No. Oh no, we don't have volume 3 yet. So I guess it will be in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Then that's
because
fine.
that was around the era when he was with the Thunderbolts, so that was definitely 2009, right?
Right.
Let me know in the chat. We
Yes.
have 4 is what
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Volume 4 is the Agent Venom. Is that right?
Volume 4 is Agent Venom. That's right. So yeah, we are missing volume 3 still. So yeah, it'll probably be in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
All right. Mystery solved. Thank you all for helping.
Okay. Moving a little closer to the end here. Iron Man Modern Era Epic Collection, The Future.
So this is
This is
continuing Matt Fraction's run.
yeah, I think is this the end of it? Is this the last part? I think this might be the last part of his run. Invincible Iron Man 510 to 527.
I'm trying to think of the way that I have them in my. So I had the hardcovers, and then I had to get the trade paperbacks because they stopped making the oversized hardcovers. I want to say that I know that Fraction Fraction's run. I think he relaunched it though, didn't he? With the brand new #1, like Salvador La Roca, or no, it was Gillen. Gillen relaunched it with not Salvador La Roca. Oh, what's his name? Greg Land. So yes, this would be the last one. Yep, you're
And
right.
and then after Gillen, is that Bendis?
After Gillen, yes, is Bendis's run
Okay.
because Gillen wrote it during like the relaunch of like what is that called, the Marvel Now era. So he had like
Okay.
that gold and black armor, which is a really cool armor, the one
Oh
that he
yeah.
wears the Jonathan Hickman run. Yeah, that will come. That will be the next volume of Iron Man 7.
I'm hoping that they loop back around to volume 1 and 2 because they skipped over those ones
Well, that would
to
be
just get to the
the
Frankfurt run.
yeah, that would be the
That's like
Ellis run and the
yep,
director of Shield era, right? Like executive program,
right.
director of Shield. Yeah, those are solid, dude, and really, really underrated. No one talks about those issues. They're so good. Not the extremists, not the Ellis. Everybody talks about that one. I'm talking about the director of Shield and the executive program, and yeah, that actually could be collected in two Epic collections. Seriously, it's a great era of Iron Man. We still in July? Are we wrapping it up in July?
Yep.
We're
We
wrapping it
got
up
two
in
more.
July. Two
Two
more.
more. Two more.
All right, and this
One.
is Curtis's the way that he views the order of importance, if you will. So a reminder to smash that like button, please. Well, Ultimate's Fantastic Four, Curtis. I should have waited
So
till the
hey,
last one.
I just finished reading the first volume,
Yeah, what are
the
your
epic,
thoughts?
and I loved it. I thought it was so good. Very different, of course. Like they play around with the origin and everything a lot. Like there's a lot that's different about it, and that turned a lot of people off. But I thought it was great. I love the new reinterpretation of those characters. And then this one, I remember buying this off the shelf, and it has the beginning of the Marvel Zombies, and I loved that. I thought it was great. So, and then that of course spun out into its own franchise. So yeah, Ultimate Fantastic Four 19 to 32 and annual #1. Um, Brian asks how's Ultimate FF compared to Ultimates, and I would say that I like it better, my opinion. but
Yeah, it
but
started off with Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Miller, and then Warren Ellis takes on the book.
yeah,
Mark Miller comes back. I think he comes back for these stories, and then eventually it's Mike Carey. Um, The Ultimate Universe was not my era. Like, it wasn't for me, but there's a lot of people that love it. A lot of people that got into the characters, and one of the most important villains right now did get his start in the pages of Ultimate Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna say
Yeah, you
who
can't
it
write
is.
off this series
Yeah,
because of
Marvel
what's going
Zombies
on
was an
here.
interesting crossover because remember they tricked everybody. The Saturday Morning Fan is talking about how because I remember Casada was like, "We're never gonna cross over to 616 and the Ultimate Universe," and I think Dan Didio was teasing him like, "Oh, I'm sure you will one day," and he was like, "No, it's not gonna happen." And then there were hints at like that the Ultimate Universe had found the 616 universe, and then of course turned out to be, oh my gosh, it's zombie people. But yeah, this is the era by Greg Land too when he's drawing, and Stuart Eminem I think comes in for one of the arcs in here. And that annual number 1, I think that's by Jay Lee, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember is the cover is a Greg Land cover. It has Inhumans on it.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. It's the Inhumans. I do like that cover too. All right, Curtis. Can I do the drum roll? Or let me introduce the next book. People have been
Yeah,
waiting.
you have to.
We've been
Definitely. Okay.
the next book is definitely one of my favorites. Of course, I have to I have to talk about it. So yeah, we've talked a lot about modern stuff here in July. So what the heck is left in the end of July? Show it to me, Curtis. That's right. X-Men Epic Collection, Volume 14, The Mutant Massacre, baby. Collecting Uncanny X-Men 211 to 219, Spider-Man versus Wolverine number 1, which is not in the Omni, by the way. Fantastic Four versus X-Men 1 through 4. X-Men versus Avengers 1 through 4. Can somebody right now please do me a favor and double check and see if that Christopher Priest Spider-Man versus Wolverine is in the Masterworks? I don't think it's even in the Masterworks. I think this is an exclusive to the Epics. Terry, you
Yeah,
want
it's interesting. I mean that one already is in Amazing Spider-Man Epic
like
15.
it's in the Wolverine Omnibus Volume 1 and it's in the Amazing Spider-Man, but I'm so glad it's here. And is it so I know it's not in the Omni. Is it so are you saying it's not in the Masterworks? That's
It's not in
awesome.
the Masterworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's an exclusive for Epic Mapping, man. That's awesome. Which kind of gives me hope that they're using that for the next Marvel, the next Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 6 that will be included in there. Oh, there we go. There we go, Terry. You're good people. You're back. You're back on. You're back. It's still Silver Surfer, but I'll take it. Yeah, I know people really want that Silver Surfer 2. Silver Surfer 2 would be the gap filler, right? Like the big gap filler.
That's right. Now, it's interesting to me. I love this that we get an Avengers, a Fantastic Four, and a Spider-Man crossover in this one book here. Like then, and that fills up half of the content of this one, with the other half being the Mutant Massacre story. So it's like this is a solid volume. This is really good.
Yeah, James is actually bringing up something. Surprised none of the Mutant Massacre crossover issues. Actually, it doesn't really surprise me because remember, Mutant Massacre really wasn't a crossover. I don't know if I kept.
Those storylines were all very siloed. Like you didn't have to read any of them. Like the characters never meet up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, this is the time when they didn't know Jean was back. This is the time when X Factor was running around pretending to be capturing mutants. But it's really cool. The volume with Fall of the Mutants, I don't know if that will have it either, but definitely by the time we get to Inferno, it has to have those crossover issues.
So
Bruce, thank
there's
you for the super chat, my friend. It's not the Spidey Wolverine book, the one where Ned Lead dies. That's that book. This is the Christopher Priest book where something big happens.
Let me see here. 2024 was the last time we got an X-Men Epic Collection on the post Claremont era. So now
You don't have
we'll have
2025?
had No, we didn't get one in 2025. We just got X-Men or
Really?
we're just getting X-Men 13 in 2025, and then in January we're getting X-Men 11, and now we have X-Men 14. So, and then we also had X-Men 10 in 2024 at the end of 2024. So, that's 4 volumes of Claremont in a row, not in order, but in terms of releases. So they're really filling in a lot of those gaps.
Um, man, that's awesome. Lot of love for this era. I mean, I don't know how many times I've gotten this era collected, but I'm glad that it's coming out in a epic collection. They chose to cover to 212. It's a hard one, right? They've chosen 210 for the hardcovers. They've chosen 213. They drew a brand new cover. Who was it? Was it Dwayne Turner, I think, that drew a cover for one of the trade paperbacks? So I'm glad they went with the Barry Windsor Smith cover here for 212. So no, I love this crossover. Love it. It's up there as one of my favorites. It's the very first one, right? It's a crossover, non-crossover.
Non-crossover.
But it did get me to buy like New Mutants. It got me to buy X Factor. I think I even bought that Daredevil and two Thor issues out of this, and that got me to go and check out Thor by Walter Simonson. So it's really cool that this is another one. Do we have a volume 15, Curtis?
No, we're just missing volume 15 and 16 and 18. Those are the 3 Claremont volumes that are left. That's it.
15, 16, and 18. So 15, because okay, so then 15 would have to be Fall to Mutants, 16 would have to be Inferno,
And then 18 is
18
Extinction Agenda.
Extinction Agenda.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because 17 is it's the Forge team, right? On Muir Island.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So yeah, they just have those big stories left.
Yeah, Extinction Agenda. That's another one. I love those crossovers. That was my childhood, so I would get so excited about each and every one of those. Wow, we can realistic finish this classic Spider-Man epic line in 2 more years.
Well, and as far as
just like that.
Yeah, I mean, minimum of they could always just give us like all of the more Clone Saga issues and forget about this Roger Stern stuff if they really want to bug us. But I think the chances are good that we'll see it the pre-Clone Saga stuff complete in 2 years. And same with Claremont. If they keep pumping them out like this, then we could have that done in a couple of years as well.
Which one would have the Outback era? The 15 and 16. 15 would be in the aftermath of Fall of the Mutants, and 16 primarily. And then, of course, a little bit of 17 has that in there too. Is this the last reveal? Yes, it is for today. So hit that like button. Let's do a quick recap, my friend, and then we can ask people what they're most excited for. Oh, you did the whole thing. Okay. Give me the rundown.
I don't know that we probably don't need to go into detail, heavy detail with all of these ones. I do want to point out that in last week when I put this slide up, I did forget to include Hulk Modern Era Epic number 7 because that one was just I forgot that one even existed because it wasn't in our announcements. So I put it on the list here. That's why I'm resharing this slide here for those of you who want to see everything. And then here's a rundown of what we talked about today. So in May, we have Incredible Hulk 11 De-Evolution, New Avengers Modern 4 Secret Invasion, Micronauts 5 New Voyages, Doctor Doom 2 Revolt in Latveria. In June, Amazing Spider-Man 13, Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut, New X-Men Modern 3, Planet X, Annihilation Modern 3 Conquest Prelude, a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 7 Goblin's Last Stand, and Iron Man 19 Crash and Burn. And then finally in July, Ultimate Fantastic Four 2 Frightful, X-Men 14 Mutant Massacre, Deadpool Modern 2 XX Baby, Iron Man Modern 6 The Future, and Star Wars Modern 3 The Screaming Citadel, and Venom Modern 2 Sting of the Scorpion. So there you are. There's your lineup for the first 6 months of 2026.
Now, as I always like to ask people, what are you most excited for out of this batch of the, I guess, it's a little more than half the year, but for January and all the way to July. What's everybody most excited for? Curtis, what are you most excited for?
Well, I think that's going to have to be probably that X-Men volume. That's way up there. X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, the three big classic era books that are bringing us closer to completion. Those are the three I'm definitely looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm. Um,
What about you? I know what your topic is for sure,
you
even though
do.
you've bought it multiple times in multiple formats.
What do you think that is?
Venom Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 2. No, and
Actually,
X-Men, of course.
I am kind of excited for that because a lot of that stuff hasn't been. I mean, it has not been collected like this. This is the first time we're actually getting it properly collected like that.
Yeah. True.
Out of the first batch, I already said the Punisher. I think the Punisher was such a huge surprise. Punisher 8 Survival. It's not the best Punisher stories by far, but it's a return to that classic era, which we haven't had in a few years. So that's really nice. Out of this batch from April all the
Yeah, if
way,
we're talking about this batch,
yeah, from
or
May. I'm
sorry, if you're
sorry, from
talking
May
about
to
the
July.
beginning,
Yeah, go ahead.
what do you? I was gonna say if you were talking about January to March as well, if you're including that, then John Byrne's Fantastic Four will
Oh
be
yeah.
in there as well.
I honestly did Incredible Hulk, Volume 11, Devolution,
Oh, okay.
because I didn't pick up the Bill Mantlo Parton book, right? I knew one day we would get it, and now it's come full circle. Well, it'll come full circle next year, but it's just really cool how it's cool and both sad how fast time goes by, right? You can't wait for something, and then just
Yeah.
like that, it's here. So yeah, it's nuts, but it's finally it will be in May. Because we got Crossroads, we're getting this one, and my gosh, what will be interesting to see though is if that next volume probably won't have that ROM issue, which is collected in the ROM.
Very true.
Epic collection.
So where are the Incredible Hulk Omnis at right now? How far have they gotten into the series?
Three of the classic line, dude. That's it. I mean, three of the
Really?
classics, right? None of the Bill Mantlo stuff. We've got all of Peter David collected. We've got the Immortal Hulk. It's kind of a little bit of everywhere. Red Hulk. They're doing a lot of creator centric. I do have an announcement of a Hulk omnibus. I don't know. I need to actually write down my schedule because I need to work with Marvel coordinating the release and the unveiling of those because I've got like 10 more. So there should be like a video Saturday, a video Sunday, probably one on Tuesday. Just try to get them out by the end of the month. And yeah, there's not, unfortunately, we don't have any of the Bill Mantlo stuff collected in Omni format outside of that ROM issue, of course, or that issue with ROM. I'd love to see that stuff collect. I'd love to see Bill Mantlo's era. I'd love to see Bruce Jones' era collected. I'd love to see Greg Pak's era collected. I really like that run. I know we have Planet Hulk and World War Hulks, but there was more that he did that they could collect. But he's gotten some love. There's been a lot of gap fillers there too. We had like that random like John Byrne and Joe Casey omnibus. Yeah.
Well, I would like them to start ramping up more of the Hulk modern era to see. I'd like to see how they are going to do the Planet Hulk stuff.
I can't wait to see that Jeff Parker era of Red Hulk too. I know people really like Jeff Loeb's Red Hulk. To me, it's like a big, summer blockbuster type of story. But the Jeff Parker stuff was way good. It was so good. And his She-Hulk. Yeah, that stuff is good. Let me see what everybody else is excited about from this particular round. Then we can start wrapping up. Are you doing an after party?
No, not today. I can't. But I do regular streams on Mondays now. So join me on Monday at 3:30, and we'll talk about these.
Okay. Amazing Spider-Man 14, New Avengers 4, X-Men 14. You're the best, guys. Oh, thank you, Steven. Spider-Man 7 reprint. I'm so glad that people, are getting those. Spider-Man and X-Men, 4 classic lines in 3 months, not counting licensed Micronauts. Moderns are clearly a priority. I think it comes to what they're about to wrap up, right? If we're about to wrap up a lot of these lines, they can't pump them out. They need to space them
Well,
out.
I mean, you're not counting Doctor Doom then either, I guess, right? Because that Doctor Doom's in there. That would be 5.
Spider-Man and
But you're
X-Men,
right. It's definitely lower than it has been in other years.
Punisher easily. But but what you just said about Spider-Man, though, like we're getting a couple classics almost back to back.
It's true.
Iron Man 19, Doctor Doom, Iron Man 19, both Amazing Spider-Man books, Amazing Spider-Man 13 and 14 is gonna hurt. Stand by Simonson Thor as my top one. X-Men 14, Amazing Spider-Man 13, all of this X-Men, Punisher, Uncanny X-Men, Stern Spidey, Amazing Spider-Man 13, Classic Hulk 11, X-Men and Spider-Man 13, Amazing Spider-Man 13, X-Men 14. Same as Curtis, Classic Hulk,
Hey.
Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man 19. Excited to finish New X-Men. Yeah, that will wrap it up. I mean, 2 issues left, right? I'm curious how they'll collect that. X-Men 14, Hulk 11, and Spider-Man 13, and Venom Modern Era Epic Volume 2 for my buddy Phil Owens. Iron Man 19. Most excited for Uncanny 14, Iron Man Modern 6, and Hulk 11. Only 3 epics
So
for me.
it's really interesting to see the chat here because the chat is only talking about the classic era, and which is not surprising because this is our fan base that has been with us for these past 10 years or so
11.
on this journey. When I post about what are you excited about or what do you think's coming up in these announcements, when I post that on Twitter, I get a lot of comments about the modern era stuff. So those fans are not watching the live streams, but they are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because you just said it, right? There's definitely a fan base that has been getting these since day one, or even 6 years ago before there was a modern era epic. All of them, man, I'm excited to get them. Besides the Doctor Doom, Matt Lowe, Hulk, Thor 13, Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men, Punisher. I'll get into moderns if I live long enough to finish reading the classics. It's a good way of looking at it, honestly. Amazing Spider-Man 13, Star Wars Conquest, maybe X-Men 14 if I decide not to wait for the eventual next X-Men Omni. Hulk 11, Amazing Spider-Man 13, Iron Man 19, Iron Man Modern 6, Spider-Man, Hulk, X-Men, Micronauts, Daredevil Modern, New X-Men, and Annihilation for me. So this is a modern guy right there.
There you go.
X-Men, Hulk, Iron Man, Amazing, and New. Amazing 12 and 13, but I have nothing to buy in July of 2026. Oh, I'm sure we'll find something. Omar wants all the worst stuff. Wait, what did I say that I wanted? I said Bill Mantlo, Hulk by Bruce Jones, Hulk by Greg Pak. You're not a fan of that? Looking up at 100 Deadpool hardcovers at the top of the main wall. No need for epics. Oh, you guys have the connecting spines too. Yeah. Hey, Samantha, Classic Hulk and Iron Man, Ultimate FF, Modern Venom, and Iron Man. Or I still can't believe the ending of the Spider-Man versus Wolverine story. Did that have repercussions in Amazing Spider-Man? Did it affect Peter afterwards? It did, and they talked about it for years. There's an actual follow-up in Spectacular Spider-Man when he's wearing the black costume. New X-Men would be my number one if it didn't. I already have the completes. Oh, yeah, and I think that's what they did, right? Like they reskinned them. Omar, what's your favorite non-X-Men epic volume 14 on the list? Oh, definitely the Hulk book. Star Wars, Hulk and Spidey, X-Men 14, New X-Men 3, Annihilation 3, Amazing 13, New Avengers 4, Thor 13, FF 13, Daredevil Modern.
It's almost all of them.
That Thor was a nice surprise, though. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 12 and 13 coming out so close to each other, getting that gap closer to getting filled.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man, New Avengers, and X-Men. And X-Men Annihilation, Star Wars. And oh man, tell me about it, brother. My daughter is Learning to drive. Time is a thief, my friend. That I don't like it at all. Looking forward to
Yeah, my
the
son's at that age too.
complete the X Factor volumes. What do we need for X Factor? Volume 2?
Volume 2 and volume 5 and 6. And probably oh no, volume 10 takes us right up to Mutant X. No, we need one volume after that. So we need a
Yeah.
volume 11 as well. I think. Maybe volume 12.
Oh, that's wonderful, Kyle. Hulk Volume 11, my first Marvel comics I bought when I was a wee lad. That's awesome, dude. Yes, Jeff Parker. Somebody else likes Jeff Parker. Great run, man. Bruce Jones and Greg Pak would be the start of the modern epic. Yeah, either that or I guess the John Byrne relaunch. I can't imagine the John Byrne relaunch, though, being a modern era epic. I would say Bruce Jones after the Paul Jenkins stuff. Maybe Paul Jenkins is still classic.
I think Bruce Jones, I think because we have Epic 6, I think we've figured out that there wouldn't be room for the John Byrne stuff in the modern era based on how many volumes there are.
Man, tell John Byrne that he's going to be in a modern era. He's like, there's nothing modern. This is classic John Byrne stuff. Happy for that. Amazing Spider-Man 7 didn't need it during the reprint poll, but accidentally ruined my copy. Thank you, Marvel. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Oh, too bad.
Giant Size Man thing. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 13, X-Men Volume 14, and Hulk Volume 11. I love looking at just what people like, a difference and stuff. Lots more love here. X-Men, amazing. Hulk, Iron Man. X-Men 14 for me. Funny that I read everything about Spider-Man, Captain America, and Avengers, but never read these Mutant Massacres of all the mutant arcs. Oh, you need to get on that, Paulo. We were always afraid of modern era epics would slow down the release of the classic lines. But, I mean, in a way, I don't know if they have or not.
It's been very consistent. We've had an average of about 38 modern eras every year, even with the inclusion of modern eras. So it
You mean
hasn't gone
classic,
down yet. And
like 38 classics?
38 classic era epic collections, yeah. And so we've got 15 now this year, not including Ultimate. We've got 15 classic era for the first 6 months, which is lower than it has been in previous years. But if they give us a lot more in the second half, it could still meet the same quota as usual. So we'll have to see how the next half of the year shapes up.
And
If you notice also, all of these announcements for the first 6 months focus on the long running lines. We're missing all of the shorter runs. There's no Silver Surfer, no Doctor Strange, no secondary X titles. Um, Wolverine. We have Thunderbolts. That's kind of the only one, though. There's no Moon Knight. There's no Blade. There's no Ghost Rider. No Defenders. No Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's only focusing on the longer runs, finishing up those licensed properties, and giving us Doctor Doom, which is obviously a tie-in to the Fantastic Four movie, which doesn't have Doctor Doom in it, as far as I know. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But yeah, it's will we get some of those? We're going to have to get some of those, secondary or smaller running titles in the last half of the year.
This might be this is a really good point. Wonder if it's an age line. Older fans who can attend streams here, modern fans using Twitter since they are working during these streams. Could be, honestly. And honestly, it's probably, people like information quick. Like I completely understand, the Reddit forums and Facebook groups, like dropping the information as soon as I make a video. I'm been doing it for years, so I'm so used to it. And some people like getting information like that, and other people like getting information through videos. So might be just like a preference thing. Some people can't wait. Like I'll watch it live if I can. And other people are like, yeah, I'll just wait till it comes out or solicit it officially. Classic era is goated. No reprint news, but like I said, they did say that this isn't 100% everything, that they'll trickle some things in there from time to time. So make sure you keep an eye out. And if it's a reprint thing, make sure to pre-order those. Yeah. And no news on reprints. Sorry. So we were just talking about. I'm surprised we haven't started an Alpha Flight line too. But Alpha Flight never got into the Masterworks either, though.
Oh, okay.
Breaks my heart. Yeah. Hope they start some of the other 60s lines like Nick Fury and Kazar.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple of series left from the 1960s that they need to really put into epics. Those were the two big ones.
We'll watch it live. Yes. What are the contents for Doctor Doom Volume 2? Let's go back to that. That was in the May, right? There we go. Here's
Yes,
your contents.
May.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff that has been in other epic collections, plus new material from Astonishing Tales 1 to 8 that has never been collected in epic collections before. It has been collected in that super rare Masterworks called Marvel Rarities.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nope. I did not get that one.
But it was in the Doctor Doom omnibus as well, I'm assuming, right?
Those tales?
Yeah, Astonishing Tales.
I think so. Wow, you guys are quick. Somebody just emailed me. Somebody just emailed me a meme they created. It's the picture of the Marvel Masterworks of the Uncanny X-Men and the meme of Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore. Throwing the toy in the trash. Gosh. You guys are so quick. Marvel doesn't have a Marvel horror epic. Oh no, it doesn't, but it really needs one. And DC actually is doing things like that. Like they're doing horror and science, like type of DC finest. So maybe
Marvel
was it you, Josh? Yeah, somebody screen grabbed it. Did you put it in the Facebook group? Somebody screen grabbed it. I was like, man, that's quick. Humans Captain Marvel. True.
Marvel is not going to do a horror collection because they're licensing out the horror stuff to Fantagraphics.
But they've done horror collections, though. Remember they've
done horror collections with like actual characters, but as far as they're kind of just like anthology horror titles, Fantagraphics has been putting out collections of that stuff. So I think we'll probably.
Okay, so you're talking about the obscure stuff like the Tower. What was it called? Tower of Horror, Tower of Terror.
Shadows.
Right. Yeah, probably not of that, but the stuff that they released in Omni format, that they have the files for, I don't know, maybe. There's always a chance. Yeah, but I mean, anytime you introduce a new line, though, that lessens the chance of your favorite line to be completed too, though. So let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. Which is why it's great that we're seeing a focus on those long-running lines in these first 6 months here, because let's get them all done.
Oh, it's my buddy Aaron Cobbs. How's it going, dude? It's Aaron C, by the way. I'm excited for Amazing Spider-Man 13.
Of course he is. I knew that he was going to be excited about that.
Yeah, not 16, but one day. Dude, Tomb of Dracula would be awesome. I'm surprised they didn't. They would just have to release the, what were they called? The classics? No, complete collections.
Complete collections. I think they were waiting for all of it to run through the Masterworks program. Because those ones were going through Masterworks currently when it got stopped.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get a couple of these, and then I got to start wrapping up because I got 3 streams to do today, and I got to record videos, and I'm going on a trip after my live stream tomorrow. I'd love if Marvel just ceded the horror and genre stuff to Fana. They have that Dominic Fortune collection coming too. Yes, the Howard Chaykin stuff, man, which is crazy because it's not just classic stuff; it's stuff that was released like in 2008 too.
Nope.
Yeah, news.
Since that you can tell Marvel doesn't have any real intention on stuff
Not,
on publishing the stuff
not
that
off
isn't
my head.
superheroes.
Not off the top of my head, Logan. Sorry. Sad No Silver Surfer Volume 1 reprint. That's only had one printing, right?
No, it was reprinted at least once.
It was. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
mapped
yeah,
out
it's been out for a while.
possible classic epic lines that need to start in the future. A lot of the Midnight Suns related, Adam Warlock, Eternals and Humans, Nick Fury, Nova, and various 90s titles.
Yeah, Charlie's posts have been great over on the Facebook group. He's been doing some really cool mappings.
Oh, you have a Facebook group. This is the first I've heard of it. What? Tell me a little bit about this Facebook group, Curtis.
Well, if you want to just talk about epic collections all day, every day, that's kind of what we do. Just look for epic collections on Facebook and you'll find it.
Amanda and I are reviewing Superman tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and at
Did you
5
see it last
p.m.
night?
Yeah, I saw it last night. Yeah.
Nice.
And at 5 p.m. We are doing the Marvel October of 2025 solicitations, and I am going to be joined by Sean from Comics Pal, Omnibo, Omnidog, and I believe Peter. And I don't know if Curtis will come back for that one because we were doing
I will
this.
show up if I can. Send me the link, and if I can make it, I'll be there.
It's really good. I always do, my friend. You know, it's an open invitation with you. Yeah. Curtis has an early copy of Chaikin's collection from Fantagraphics. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful book, and my favorite thing about those books that they're doing is all the historical, like, behind the scenes that were taking place. That to me is like what I enjoy reading a lot more now, and I think it's got to be an age thing because that stuff when I was a kid, like, you put like 15 pages of history before the beginning of the comic. I'm like, like any masterwork that I ever had when I was younger. I'm like, I'm not reading Stan Lee's introduction about Fantastic Four. I want to read the Fantastic Four. Now it's like the opposite. I get excited when I see an introduction by an editor that was there at the time or somebody, or a comic book historian. And those introductions from the Fantagraphics books are freaking, like, they are a treasure, man. Like, you learn so much. And I love, to me, that is equally as important as the comics that they're putting out. So, yeah. I'm going to miss those introductions from the Masterworks, though, that they reprint in the Omni. So, who knows? Maybe one day we'll get them back.
Yeah.
Anything else today, my friend?
I think we've covered it. It's pretty exciting.
You all heard it.
We've got a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
I will ask about reprints, Eric. I will ask about reprints and see if they have like a list. How about that? All right. Curtis called it. We're ending it. Thank you all so much for watching. Smash that like button on the way out. Thank you again to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us advance notice of this. This will be, I think it's unlocked from the PRH probably Sunday. I don't know if Kenny's watching or not. I know he usually keeps an eye on that stuff. Maybe on Sunday or Monday. But thank you again, everyone, for watching. And smash that like button on the way out. Stay healthy and safe out there. I'll be back at 5. And if you can't get enough of me, I'll be back at 9 p.m. as well. And back tomorrow. Woo! And then I can really relax. Then I can relax, my dude. Stay healthy and safe out there. I can't even finish my sentences. I'm out. Much love.